Alright, that was The Beatles Come Together. So, welcome to the very first episode of Real Talk, the fortnightly radio show on everything movies, I guess. My name is Seán. I am joined by Claudia.
Hello.
And Rob.
Rob, that's the lovely Rob.
I am joined by the
I'm
lovely
surprised
Rob.
I had to suggest that, but yeah, the lovely Rob. Thanks.
Alright. Okay, wow. So, first things first, Claudia, why don't you run us through what we're going to do today?
Absolutely. So we're going to start with basically it's one of our segments is called Claudia's Conniptions, where I'm going to do my best at explaining a movie of my choice to my co-hosts Rob and Seán, and they have to figure out what movie I am referring to. And then after that we have Rob's reviews. So as the title suggests, Rob is going to give his thoughts on movies that have either been recently released or watched. And then last we're going to have Seán's trivia, following the layout of Two Truths, One Lie. Seán is going to hide some true pieces of movie trivia amongst some cleverly crafted lies. And we'll see if we can see through his devious deceptions.
Really well read there.
Yeah,
Claudia,
first of all, I
very
think
nicely
everyone
read.
else
My
has
God.
really nice named segments.
Yeah.
Rob's reviews, Claudia's conniptions, Seán's reviews just doesn't have a ring.
I did try to fit as much alliteration in the description for you as
Because
possible.
I'm a big
though.
fan of alliteration.
Yeah, well, it's
and
lovely, isn't it?
It's
also,
worked
you
out
just
really
said,
nice.
Seán's reviews,
Oh,
which
well.
it isn't.
What is it, trivia?
Yeah,
Yeah, okay, Seán's trivia.
We'll
That doesn't
figure it
sound as nice.
but there is nothing. We tried.
It doesn't sound as nice, but that's only to lure them in, Seán. That's for them to say, God, I bet this segment's going to be absolute gack. And they come in,
And they're
love it.
like, wow,
They
I was
love it.
right. Okay.
They come for the shy talk and they stay for the trivia.
While I was thinking about it the past couple of days, I know we've just kind of decided on conniptions, but I do like Claudia's capers.
Yeah, I kind of like Claudia's capers as well. For everyone at home, Claudia loves very enthusiastically explaining films to me and Seán that she may or may not have seen, but that we certainly have not seen. And don't want to be xenophobic, but we never know what in the name of God she's going on about. And we just thought it would be a nice opportunity for a bit of a cultural exchange, I suppose.
Yeah.
For Claudia to maybe, try to enlighten us in our uneducated Irish ways about the ways of world cinema or whatever she's most recently seen on Netflix.
Well, that's going to, for the first time that I'm going to do Claudia's Conniptions, it's not going to be world cinema.
It's not world cinema this week.
No,
That's
it's not
fine.
world cinema.
It might be a bit more easily understandable, so...
I highly doubt that.
No,
Even
I
at that, she could probably describe the movie I saw yesterday and be like, I don't know what that is, Claudia.
We might just give a brief... we've explained everything that we're going to be doing in the show, but maybe for first-time listeners, we might just do a very brief, just who are we? Obviously, we're all students here in NUIG. Seán?
I am a marketing student, part-time, and I think that's everything that I do.
What is your
Yeah.
role in the Film Society?
I'm the secretary of the Film Society. I totally forgot about the Film
That's
Society
fine.
there, which is funny
Because
because...
you're so entrenched in it, Seán.
No, I am basically the runner of the Film Society.
Right.
If history tells us anything, it means I'm going to be in charge next.
Yeah.
Sort of like a overthrow the current government kind of situation.
Current government of the Film Society, actually quite a nice bunch, for the record.
All right.
Quite a nice bunch.
All right.
But, yeah. Well, on air, they're quite a nice bunch.
And we are all currently part of...
That's very true.
Yeah.
You bring that up now. Claudia, what's your position?
I'm the production officer.
Lovely. And what does that involve?
That basically means that for the workshops that we're going to do every single week regarding film, how to do film, and the productions that we have side by side with the workshops, I am the person that coordinates them, asks people that are in that field, let's say it's audio, let's say it's production design, if they can talk about it.
Lovely.
And yeah.
So you're involved then with more the sort of the production and the teaching and the training behind making films.
Exactly.
And so if that was a coin, the other side of what the society does is film appreciation, I suppose, which is where I come in. I'm the screenings officer. So every week I run the student cinema on a Wednesday night and occasionally on a Monday or wherever else I can kind of slot in a screening. But yeah, so really we have sort of two opposite jobs, but we somehow sort of get on despite it all. I'm also, God, I forgot to say, I'm also a civil law student here in NUIG. Yeah. I haven't just kind of come in off the street and tried for a position in the society.
Do you want to give us a quick, brief rundown for the people who may not know like myself, what civil law is, Rob.
Yeah, I'd love to, but I won't.
All right, cool. Anyway,
I'll hold
Claudia,
myself
what are you
back.
up to?
I'm a journalism with art student.
Okay.
So my art
Fascinating.
subjects are philosophy and sociology and political science. And you didn't say what country I'm from. I'm from Italy.
I didn't know we were supposed to.
I didn't know where she was from.
Okay, Rob, do you want to tell us where you're from as well? I
I'm
guess?
from Clybourne Road there, out in Knocknacarra, a lovely little spot. Quite culturally different to inner city.
Yeah.
Galway. What I would say is, what did I say? Sorry, I had something to say. No, I had something to say. Oh yes, God, absolutely. I will say, although we're involved heavily with the Film Society, we've all sort of independently decided to come up with this little radio show. And we are all here as independent and free lovers of cinema.
Yeah.
And
you also have an interest in radio. I have an interest in radio, and I think this little triangle here works quite nicely.
Very nice.
Yeah.
I like triangles.
All right.
Sorry.
So I think we should probably let's
So
get going on our
let's push
first
on
segment.
now.
Yeah.
So, Claudia, you have a bit of a conniption.
Yes, I do. So basically, can I say where I watched the movie? Like, was
You
it on
can-
DVD or is
you-
that too far to like?
You can't. Well, that's not going to give it all away, I don't think. But what you could
Okay.
do is you can maybe mention at the end. So maybe
Okay.
let them know about the film first, and then if they find it interesting,
Can
you
we
tell them where
time
they can get it.
Claudia to make this conniption even worse?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I would
Okay.
like to say,
I hate
Claudia,
time
you
limits.
have 4
What?
minutes.
4 minutes seems like a lot of time.
Yeah, 4 minutes actually.
Yeah,
seems
but
like
she
a
goes
long
on
time.
forever. We'll call
But
it 3.
I'm thinking like 2.5 to
Oh.
really
No, let's say
pressurize
3
her.
minutes, please. 3 minutes. I beg
See, that
you.
conniption's already started by the begging for extra time.
Yeah, all right. Claudia, you've 2.5 minutes.
Go.
Okay, so basically, the movie starts out with the girl daydreaming about one of her crushes, and they're both like in a field, and it's like it looks like the album cover for the soundtrack to what is it called? What's it called?
Claudia,
What's it
you've 2.5 minutes. Are you going to go through this film shot by shot? Sorry, hang on a minute there now.
called? Okay, basically, this girl, let's call her Karen. She has 3 crushes, and those 3 crushes consist of her sister's boyfriend. So good start to that. Then her other crush is her ex-best friend's boyfriend, and her last one is a guy that she kissed once in a camp, a summer camp that she went to. So basically because she's so overwhelmed with crushes, so she basically writes letters to each of the crushes, and then oh my god. So she like writes them, and then she's so alone and watches like Golden Girls with her little sister, and then her little sister's like, "Oh, you're so alone. I'm gonna send out these letters," and then she sends the letters out to all the crushes, and then each of the crushes comes up to her, and one of like the one from the camp turns out to be gay. Then the one from like her sister's boyfriend that she probably has the most crush on, she kind of just leaves him by the side, and she doesn't want to talk to him, and she's just like, no, I don't, this is not happening, and then just goes into a relationship with the ex best friend's boyfriend, and basically he like taps her on the shoulder, and then she sees that the other guy is coming to her, and she basically just jumps on top of the other guy and just kisses him, and he's like, okay, what the hell just happened? And then they basically, because he has broken up with the ex-best friend, they're both then becoming friends. Not friends, they kind of, what are they doing? They kind of make a contract of how they are going to keep the sister's boyfriend away from her, and on the other hand, make the ex-best friend jealous, and then they make a contract of things they can do and cannot do. So then it's like, the only thing that she lets him do, she doesn't let him kiss or anything like that, but she lets him put his hand into her back pocket, which seems very odd. And then
And that's your 2.5 minutes.
Wow, I am genuinely very confused. At the start, I was like, maybe this is Mamma Mia, but now I don't know.
Claudia started by introducing that film by giving kind of the characters names. Let's call her Karen. And then completely ditch that idea. And we
Okay.
have a
Yeah,
lot of
I don't
nameless
know.
people running around. That sounds not like a film. I would ever want really to see.
Yeah.
So just to kind of brief recap there of what I think we got out of that. We have a girl who likes 3 guys overwhelmingly. I remember using that word.
Yeah, she wrote
she's
some
been
letters.
overwhelmed. So she writes letters to each of them. And then, I don't know, the letters get out.
She was watching Golden Girls,
She
and
was
the
watching-
letters got out.
So she's watching. I hate that. That's one of the main reasons I don't watch Golden Girls, because I'm afraid of my letters getting out.
Yeah, I caught in the Golden Girls bit, and I was like, "Is this relevant?
Yeah,
Is there going to be a throwback later
Yeah,
on
well,
with
it's
the
only
Golden
2.5
Girls?"
minutes, so you'd better get in the Golden Girls bit, yeah. And what one of them was gay, so that obviously, well, not obviously. But
I
it
didn't know
go
whether
very
she meant
far.
her sister was gay.
I no. Well, there's a reason I said one of them, because I don't know one of who.
Okay, the Golden Girls maybe.
Perhaps.
Yeah.
And then what? And then one of them, who she liked the most, she didn't talk to.
She pushed him to the side.
She
Apparently.
pushed him to the side.
Yeah, fair play to him.
And then she went with another one, and then the other one came back, and she jumped on him, and he put his hand in her back pocket.
I didn't get the back pocket
I
part,
got
so
that
that's
at the
interesting
end.
that you
I
got
that
that.
at the end. I had to kind of really tune in because I wanted to cut Claudia off for the 2.5 minute mark. And
Wow.
well, that sounds absolutely like a loaded dreck about nothing.
I don't feel like that's a real movie.
What genre would you say this is? Sean? Horror.
Like I was thinking
existential horror.
rom-com, but now I don't know. It sounded like at
They
the
all
end it
sound
got
young.
a bit.
This is a bit of an old teen film, I think. I don't know who else is going to.
It sounded like there was assault going on at the end. Someone got jumped.
The back pocket, jumping
Yeah.
in back pockets. Yeah. Claudia sent us a link here to the film. That
Before we open it,
yeah.
any ideas? Like, do you want to give a hazard a guess?
Oh no, I haven't a clue. Oh no,
Okay,
I
well,
genuinely. Do you think?
I'm gonna,
what
like-
do I spend my spare time watching? Like?
It's got to be a rom-com, right?
Yeah, I think kind of teeny rom-com.
A teeny rom-com.
Teeny rom-com.
Can I say
Um,
if this is correct or not correct?
Yeah, you can do. Yeah.
It's correct.
Oh, fantastic! Thanks. Claudia,
Okay,
for-
so like
for
I'm
the
onto
enunciation
something
of
there.
those words.
It doesn't seem like a movie that would get made nowadays. So I'm
No.
thinking like early 2000s.
Oh my god.
The twist of a guy being gay sort of seems
Yeah.
like a bit of a waste of. all
Yeah,
of
it doesn't
our
seem like a
energy. It's
twist
like-
anymore.
No, it's not
yeah.
really like. Yeah.
Can I say if that is correct or not correct?
If what?
Yeah,
is-
go on. Is it an early 2000s film?
Not correct.
Okay.
I really appreciate that she leans into the mic each time,
Yeah,
like
no,
she's on a witness stand.
She is really like on radio.
Yeah.
if
I
you know
mean,
what
Rob is
Yeah,
doing
yeah.
civil law, so he knows that I'm like a witness of this movie. So I have to.
Well, I
like,
hope you're a witness of the movie.
That's not. That doesn't mean anything.
All right, I'm genuine. I'm gone. Like,
Could we give it a name?
could we give it a name?
Yeah.
back pocket.
The Golden Girls letters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was about to say the Golden Girl letters. So Claudia sent me a link here just to the film. We can look it up. So the name of this film is To All the Boys I've Loved Before, and it is.
That's not a film, is it?
It is apparently. It is a 2014 book by Jenny Han.
So it's a book. It's not a movie.
And it was made into a 2018 American teen romance film. Well, by God, we got it.
you are pitching that to the wrong audience here.
Yeah.
I know, but like I knew that you guys haven't watched it. So
Why have you
Oh,
watched
you
it?
did
Doesn't
right.
seem like
Oh, it's
something
on
you'd
Netflix.
watch.
It's not.
no, I
It's
watched
not.
it as soon as I saw it coming up on Netflix. I was like, I gotta watch this movie. Like
Did you
just
read
some
the
like
book?
a little
Why?
bit of a trashy movie. I was like,
Was it
sure, let's
trashy?
do it. It was a little bit trashy, but it was cute as well.
Was it good?
It was good.
Like, if you're going to rate it
was
out of
sweet.
10.
Maybe like a 7.
Okay, was it actually a rom-com or was it just a rom?
No, it's a rom-com. No, okay, wait. It's a little bit. Yeah, I would say a rom-com. Yeah. Do you know Sex and the City, right?
Yes, we all know Sex
yeah.
and the
Do you
City.
well aware
know
of it.
Aiden?
No,
No, I don't.
He's
I don't
okay,
know the
you know
characters all
Mr.
off by
Big?
heart.
no.
Only by
I know the
Right.
only by
four
reputation.
main girls. The blonde one, the redhead, the brown hair.
Yes, I know them to that extent
Yeah.
as well. I wouldn't know names now. I think it's one called Carrie.
Yeah, that's the blonde
Yes.
one.
Nice, got it.
Fair
So
play.
there's
That
like
was
okay,
good.
It
so
was.
there's Mr.
One's
Big.
called. No, I don't know.
So there's Mr. Big, and he's like her biggest love interest.
Whose?
But they're Carrie's,
Right.
the blonde one,
Right.
Oh, the one that
the
I
main
knew.
character,
Nice.
the main character.
Yeah.
And then there's like the
Samantha.
second to that
Sorry,
one.
Samantha. That's one. Hold on. It's all coming back to me now.
Rob, is that important for the conversation? I'm trying to explain here something.
Oh, sorry. I thought we were talking about Sex and the City.
No,
I thought
anyway,
this whole
Wait.
podcast now moved, or a radio show moved to being about Sex and City.
can I explain? And then the guy who played Carrie's second biggest love interest, who was called Aiden in the show, he played the dad of the girl in this movie. See?
Right. The only thing I know about Sex and the City is I listened to a podcast where these guys watch Sex and the City once a week for an entire year.
The worst idea of all time.
Yeah, do you know
I
it?
love it so much.
It's a really good podcast.
It's a Kiwi podcast. That's why I love it.
Yeah, it's really funny. You'd think like that's a terrible idea for a podcast. It would get repetitive.
But they did the same thing with like Jack and Jill.
They did.
I
and
suppose
they
it's
did
a testament to Sex and the City that it didn't get.
But they watched Sex and the City 2.
which is apparently an awful film.
Yeah, it is kind of.
Okay, well I've
But
never seen it.
Aiden plays in that one as well. So the guy that played her dad.
Delightful. That really figuring out, because my next question was going to be who plays the dad.
You know what? I was thinking the exact
in All
same
the Boys
thing.
I've Loved
Yeah, I
Before.
know. It's like so
That
important.
really makes me want to see
I
it.
was
Knowing that it's
thinking,
Aiden,
what is the connection between this film and Sex and the City?
Aiden.
And it's been answered. It's been answered, and I'm educated.
You can write your final paper on that. Thank you.
Yeah, my thesis now will be on. I've already forgotten the name of the film Claudia talked about. What was it?
Oh, To All the Boys I've Loved Before.
There we go.
There you are.
Now I'll watch that at the weekend. I'm not going to watch that at the weekend.
No,
Why not?
I don't think anyone is.
No.
But if anyone would like to, I think it's on Netflix.
Yeah, it is.
So right now we're going to leave you for a bit. We're going to go over to the Rolling Stones with Start Me Up. Welcome back, everyone. Once again, that was Start Me Up by the Rolling Stones. So for this section of the show, we thought we'd give a few bits of film reviews and actually put a bit of time and effort into creating some content.
Funnily enough, we should, because that's what the radio show is about.
Yeah.
Movies. So I feel like at some point during the length of it, we should revert back to movies.
I went a bit further than Netflix in the last week during one of the screenings which I ran.
Was that a tut?
Yeah.
All right.
All right, just to be sure, though, that was a tut from Claudia. No, we really think Claudia did. You put in a lot of work and a lot of effort.
You did.
Into
Because I don't know if I want to
section.
go back and discuss one Claudia done with us before, where she tried to explain a movie she'd never seen.
Yes, in our first attempted recording of the show, Claudia decided to try to explain a film to us that she had never actually watched,
And I lied about it twice.
about having seen it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you asked, have you seen it? I'm like, mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, it made it very difficult for all of us to understand what she was saying. And I think it also made it very difficult for Claudia to understand what she was saying when she'd never seen the
Well,
film.
we started asking questions, and there was an awful lot of sort of dead air where she
Yeah.
would have to contort her face and try to come up with some
I'm
sort
not
of
a
lie.
liar.
Yeah.
But
well,
then
you are.
the third time, Then the third time I was like, okay, I haven't seen it.
Yeah, very good.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
that was an
Very
interesting way to do that
A whole
section.
emotional journey. But
Anyway.
anyways, Rob,
Rob's
let's not
reviews.
procrastinate.
No,
Get on
let's
with
not.
your review.
Thanks a million, Claudia.
Oof,
So,
pushy.
yeah, I know. It's fine.
Come
Normally I'm dying
on.
to talk. So, it's not something I've seen in the cinema too recently, but we put it on for one of our Halloween screenings in the Film Society because I think it's a really, really kind of underappreciated gem of recent horror. It's 2015's The Witch, directed by Robert Eggers.
The Vitch.
The Witch.
I'm getting it in now.
Yeah. The film, for anyone who doesn't know what Sean's referring to, marketed itself based on some old period literature that Robert Eggers saw, in which witch was spelt with 2 capital V's, and so Sean has decided to take it upon himself to, hold the film to it.
If you put it down as V's, I'm gonna say V's.
You're going to say V's.
Yeah, that's
Makes the most sense to me.
exactly.
Rob
Well,
ignores that.
Either way, it's a
Thank you.
1630s period piece set in New England, and the film is really, really, really interestingly shot. All of the kind of the language in it, I suppose, all of the dialogue is what you kind of might ignorantly refer to as ye olde English. All of the lighting is done with either natural outdoor lighting or it's all filmed in candlelight, so everything is super, super period, and it's also all filmed sort of in location out in next to a forest, which gives the film this really, really realistic, gritty sense of I don't know, this is a very sort of oppressive atmosphere, I suppose. You never once feel like you're kind of in the safety of some little studio backlot where they're being, filmed in some modern sort of way.
There's no CGI, so it doesn't sort
There's
of take
nothing.
you
No,
out
it's
of
all very, very realistic.
Yeah.
And it does really, really do a very good job of holding on to you. Kind of going along with that, it holds this tension and this suspense really the whole way through the film, with very few actual jump scares or big frights or revelations or moments of there's there's no real joy or laughter, or I know comedy and horror kind of go often hand in hand, but there's very few moments in this film that you'd actually find funny or that you'd ever say kind of relieve you midway through.
Yeah, there was
laughed.
that. Okay, that was weird. There was that one jump scare where the goat stabbed your man.
Yeah,
That
and
got
that's
me.
right up to the end.
Yeah.
Up
That was
towards
very
the
funny.
end, there are the stuff does sort of proverbially hit the fan.
Yeah, it kicks off.
In the last few minutes, but up until that point, it does a really, really, really good job of sort of keeping everyone strung along. You said you were laughing at Claudia. What made you laugh about it?
Just like it was a little bit hilarious because it's just like there was so much talking about like religion and how they believed in God, and then kind of accusing each other and just blaming everything on the daughter in the end. Who I
Doesn't sound very funny when you say it like that now.
yeah, I
suppose,
know.
But,
But it was just like how it was shot. I just found it funny because I don't know. Maybe I'm one of those weird people that whenever it gets really serious starts laughing for no
Yeah.
reason.
well, there is a lot of heavy kind of God and religious talk in the piece. It's a family are kind of sent out and told that they have to live on their own because they don't believe with the teachings of their little New England settlement. And then they basically effectively believe that they're cursed. And a lot of the film is them kind of coming to terms with whether or not they're basically just very unlucky and, misfortune has just befallen them, or if actually there is a witch and there is a curse.
I want to point
surrounding
out
the
that
family.
Claudia can't have found it that funny because halfway during the film, like Claudia leaned over to me and goes, "Do you know what they're saying?"
Yeah.
And I was like kind of, yeah. And she's like, "I have no idea what's happening." I was like, "Oh, okay then." So you can't now be like, "That was funny."
That was very funny. I love the jokes.
You love the jokes, yeah, because you didn't hear any of them. You didn't understand any of them.
No, but like the actions were funny.
Okay.
But then sometimes I got, let's say, 70% of what people were saying.
Yeah.
But then sometimes, I don't know, because of like technical difficulties, it was just.
So you're blaming Rob?
I'm not
Sorry,
throwing.
what technical
I'm
difficulties
not
were there?
throwing
Yeah.
shade at Rob. Firstly, it was not his fault, but because he played it off YouTube, it wasn't very. He bought it, by the way. He didn't play it.
Thanks for that.
Really.
I think people were really worried there,
Yeah.
Claudia, about
I know.
Yeah.
Thanks for getting over
The
technical.
piracy police were,
Yeah.
were
They're all listening.
tuning
now.
in and
Yeah.
waiting to hear if Rob is stealing films.
Yeah, I don't know why
Yeah, well,
people are streaming.
The,
I
the,
don't
au- the audio on certain sites, which we, as Claudia pointed out, legally use, thanks to Milk Claudia, they're not very loud, and you can only sort of get it at a
Yeah,
certain level.
exactly. And then the second, that was it.
No,
and there
no,
were
go on,
no
the second. No,
subtitles.
go on, say it.
No,
Give me
the
a
other
bit.
thing that
There were
didn't.
no subtitles, I was you say. The piece was in English, Claudia.
Yeah, but there was old English.
Ah, Claudia.
So it basically, you as the screenings officer, let's call you that,
I should
weren't
have written a few
looking.
subtitles.
You should have written a few subtitles.
I should have written a few.
and
in.
stood up the
No.
very front, just
Yeah.
holding them up in the air
Banners.
and drop them down when people are done.
No, but
with
basically
saying.
there are like
cards.
loads
Yeah.
of Erasmus students, loads of international
Yeah, that's my
students,
fault.
and stuff like this, and
No,
you
that's my
weren't
fault.
looking after that.
I wasn't.
Oh,
I wasn't. I abandoned them.
See?
For that week, I said, I'm sick of pandering.
yeah.
I said, no more inclusivity. I said, this week, I'm putting on something none of us will understand. And, I just sold them down the river. You're dead right, Claudia. Sure, why would I care?
Yeah.
And also, when I was talking to Seán and asked him, "Do you understand something?" You didn't say like, "Oh yeah, a bit." You were saying, "No, I understand nothing,"
I understood.
and you sweared a little bit, and I was
Like-
like, "Oh yeah, same." And then
Yeah, like
so
I
he's
understood,
basically
like-
lying.
like 80% of it, but I still really enjoyed it.
I think for people
Like, I
listening at
found-
home, you don't need a degree in sort of period language. It's very important that people understand it. You can follow this film very, very easily.
I did.
I did. Well, you're full of complaints for someone who followed it.
It was very visual.
It's a very visual film.
It was a very visual
That's great,
film.
Seán. That's
Yeah.
film talk there.
That,
I like
thank
that.
you. The cinematography was beautiful. I thought that at points, like there was some bits where the color was really, like,
Washed
grayish
out,
and
murky.
washed out. And,
Yeah.
like, I get that's what they were going for.
Yeah. It's a very drab piece.
It kind of looked boring at some points.
Yeah, visually, yeah. The film does have certain peaks where your interest is kind of pulled back in, but no, at certain times it will sort of let you go for a bit,
Yeah, you can
Yeah.
sort of wander out and then come back in and be
Yeah.
like, oh, they're still cursed.
which I suppose in some ways matches the desolate landscape of the film.
Maybe that's what they were going for.
Maybe it was, Seán.
Yeah.
Um,
I really actually enjoyed the Dutch angle that we had it on throughout the entire
okay,
show.
so I
screening.
knew somebody was going to bring this up. Yeah,
Well, it was funny.
The
Like, obviously
projector
it was
was
not
also
true. Yeah.
had all the strange.
The projector was
a
at
strange
like
angle, yeah.
a bit of an angle, and the whole film was sort of lopsided. But it added to that like sense of
I
awe,
think, yeah,
the fear.
something's odd. Something's a bit
Something's
off about
definitely
this.
gone awry.
Yeah.
And also, the food that everyone ate during it really added to like bringing me into that era.
We've had screenings since, and there's been no sound. And we've had screenings before that have been almost silent. It was a very poppy, crunchy, snappy screening.
Mm.
I would just call it a crunchy screening.
A crunchy
Thanks.
screening.
Just like I just called it. Thanks,
No, you
Claudia.
called it a poppy.
Poppy, then I said crunchy, then I said snappy.
Yeah, just
We'll replay
crunchy.
the tapes, Claudia. You know.
We
This
can go
is
back
crunchy.
over this. It's
Yeah.
been recorded. No, there was a lot of movement as well. I don't know what was going on halfway through.
Listen, I think just I don't want to sell this film short. There was a lot of movement and there was a lot of people eating, all out of fear.
Out of fear,
Out of
okay.
People had to leave, Sean. People
'Cause they were
left
that
the screening
scared, yeah.
'cause they were so frightened.
Have you
Or
ever left a film because you were that scared?
No.
I had to leave Daredevil when I was younger because my dad didn't understand what it was, and then he saw a lad getting a garrote wire out, and he was like, "All right, out you pop."
We're gonna
But
leave.
like,
okay.
have you
That's
ever,
fair.
Incitement for you.
when you've watched like a scary YouTube video, have you ever just gone to the comments?
And seen people hiding in the comments?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that what you do?
No.
I'm fierce
No.
big into reading the plots of horror films before I go into them on Wikipedia.
Really?
Awful, yeah. But now I have to say, only for exceptional, particularly, actually not even really horror films, more so just kind of thrillers and films that would be considered quite hard to watch, things like Serbian Film or
Okay.
Sallow or anything like that. Anything that's sort of.
Should
grim.
we give this film a star review? All right. No, let's change it up. Right. Let's give it a real review. Okay.
Oh, very good. I like that.
So, out of
You're after reincorporating the title of the
I
show
am
there.
indeed after
That's very
5
nice.
out of 5 reels,
Yeah.
Claudia, how many reels are you going to give it? 5 being the best now.
Can I do
One
half
also
points?
being the worst.
Can I do half points?
You
Yeah,
can.
yeah.
You can well. You
Two
can do
and a half.
decimals.
2.5.
2.5.
That's very low.
I'm sitting very comfortably at a 4.
I'm sitting 4.3,
Oh,
4.4 maybe.
Sean, I'll join you. I'll give you 4.2, but no more.
I can take that.
Good, lovely.
I'll take it. No, I'll take it because I really enjoyed that film.
Yeah.
I thought it was really nice.
And now
because
we
we had
really
a lot of
understand
really
how
bad.
little of it Claudia did get
Yeah,
with the 2.5.
there was a lot of really bad horror films in the past couple of years.
A lot of really bad horror films.
Oh
you did
dear.
actually.
I just didn't enjoy it that much.
That's
That's
all right,
just
though.
my.
That's fine.
You should take that up with the screenings officer, Claudia.
Did you
realistically.
see Truth or Dare?
Oh God, no.
That was a god awful horror
Lord
film.
above, no.
I saw the trailer,
Oh, it was terrible.
but then I was like, no, I don't like it. I
saw
don't like
the
how they.
premise, and I said, oh God.
I don't like how they show the.
For the viewers at home, Sean, what was
faces?
Truth or Dare about?
It's this movie about these kids that they go drinking in a Mexican church one night.
Mm-hmm.
It's abandoned, and then a demon gets them to play Truth or Dare. That's really bad. It's actually a terrible film. But I was very disappointed by that, and then I was like, oh.
If you
films
were a
are
demon,
crap.
you'd have other stuff on.
You wouldn't be playing Truth or Dare in a
Yeah.
church
Very
in
odd.
the middle of
No, very odd.
bumhole Mexico.
Yeah.
But it's teenagers for you.
Good
That's
job
like how
avoiding the
dumb
censors.
teenagers are, right?
Yeah, but
I get yeah, teenagers go drinking
But
places.
if you offer them, like, cocaine or crack or something, I think they'd go for that a bit sooner than a game of Truth or Dare.
with a demon.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like we really need to emphasize
No.
the point that
Demons
a
are meant to kind
demon,
of tempt you in.
was playing
Yeah,
Truth
yeah.
or Dare. But anyway, I was very disappointed by horror after that. I thought, like, ugh, it's been a while since I've been good horror. And then I saw Hereditary, which
Yeah.
was absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah.
And I would give that a 5 out of 5.
Hereditary was fantastic.
Yeah, it was
Claudia may
incredible.
not have understood it, but...
Did you see Hereditary?
I didn't.
Okay.
didn't-
Well, it's great.
didn't understand it at
And then seeing The Witch as well, I was like, oh, this is also really good.
also really
so I
good.
guess there's, like, horror out there, but they're not as well
There is horror
marketed.
out there.
Because Truth or Dare was marketed, like,
Horror, in my
mad.
mind, always has this odd tug-of-war of... Which is a bit of an overstatement, because sometimes very good films do kind of blow up. But I think really accessibility versus popularity is a big thing, because a lot of what gets big marketing pushes are things that are very easy for people to just go in on a Halloween night, bring a boyfriend or a girlfriend, sit in, scream a bit, and then kind of leave.
yeah.
And which doesn't necessarily make for the best film at the end of the day.
No. So, right, let's give it a real review. I'm going to go ahead and say 4.3. Claudia said 2.5, and you
2.5.
said
I'm going to stick on my 4. I'm happy with 4.
4. Okay.
4.
So I'm
That's
happy
good.
with that, all right?
Yeah,
That was good.
that was very good. So up now, we have Starting Over by Killswitch Engage.
All right, that was Starting Over by Killswitch Engage. Great song. Yep. All right, so the last segment we have is my segment, which is probably the most important, and that's why it's been moved to the end. It doesn't have a catchy title.
I think that's why it's moved to the end, but you go on with your...
Like, I don't want to call it Rose's Riddles, okay?
That was my idea.
That was your idea, right?
You were afraid people would think you were a woman, which is an odd fear.
That and any time I think of Rose, I just think of that woman from the Titanic that threw her necklace in the water, and I don't really want people to relate.
You have issues.
I have issues.
Yeah, you have issues because you're stuck with the name now. I'd say make the best of it.
Right.
I'd say own it.
Right, Rose's Riddles. It doesn't make, like, people aren't going to understand. Like, my second name is Rose. That's why we're saying it.
Yeah, Sean Rose.
Yeah, there we
That's,
go.
For anyone on Facebook there, that's Sean Rose. Thanks.
All right, great. Thanks for that. Okay.
Sean Rose at gmail.com. Thanks.
Close.
Very nice.
So, I guess we'll just start. So, basically, I've picked two films. I stuck with the theme this week. So, they're both origin films in a way.
Since this is our first episode.
Since the first
Very
episode,
clean,
yeah.
I like that.
Thank you very much. I tried to relate it back to what we were doing. So, two films, and I have three pieces of information. One of the information is true, and the others I just made up. Now, I tried to make them not as obvious, but also not too difficult.
Oh, that's good. I was worried. I don't want to be made a fool of.
So, while we were listening to that song there, I thought of a fun little thing. Who wants to go first?
Claudia would.
Claudia. Now, do
I'd
you want
love to go
Absolutely
first.
would.
do you want film 1 or 2?
I'm going to go with 2.
Okay, Claudia.
Can I ask what genres these are?
Film 2 is a comic book film, in a sense. It's
Oh,
Batman
no.
Begins, the 2005 movie.
And that's who's doing film 2?
Claudia.
Sorry,
There's
not been a lot for me to keep up with. But
Okay.
somehow I've managed.
You're
managed
doing
to get
film
lost.
1, which I'm not going to tell you what it is
No,
yet.
don't
No,
you do
I want to
it,
keep
no.
you on the edge of your seat while Claudia is fraternizing over whatever's happening. What's happening?
What word did you just use?
I tried to
describe?
say a word and it came out as happening and frantic. Fantasizing is what happened.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
What about, like, we could use that as your title for your
Well,
segment.
I don't know how to spell that because that's not
the
a
clock
word.
is on, Claudia.
All right,
okay?
the clock
Enough
is
of
on.
these ideas, yeah.
Okay, Claudia. The first piece of trivia. You ready for this?
Okay.
All right, so at the end of Batman Begins, the official body count was 37. Second piece of trivia. The filming in London was delayed because of rambunctious pigeons affecting the sound recording. Trivia number 3. Martin Sheen was approached about playing Alfred, but turned it down.
So which one is, like, the correct one? No.
Yeah, how... I want to explain
Once
this.
again, Claudia introduced the segment earlier. Claudia, you've just been read out 3 facts there. One of them is real, the other 2 are fake. It's
So,
pretty
like,
easy now.
I also
No, I just wanted to make
said,
sure.
well before I started the segment, what was about to happen.
We've
Okay.
also been planning it for weeks.
We have.
I'm gonna say Martin Sheen.
You think Martin Sheen was approached about the role of Alfred?
Yeah.
That's the one you're going for. Now, do you want to give me a reason why you're thinking that? Let's go now.
I'm not
So the body
entirely-
count.
Yeah.
Why don't you think it's body count?
I mean, I watched the movie halfway through, but then I slept in. So I don't entirely know, but
Okay.
I think 37 is a lot. Like on-screen deaths, or
Mhm.
just like did a building blow up? Because then, of course, it's 37.
On-screen deaths.
On-screen deaths. So
Okay,
yeah,
so
I was
you're
just
saying
like,
no,
probably
37
not.
is
Yeah.
too high. Trivia number 2. That's the pigeons.
Aren't you a person that hates pigeons or something like that?
Well, I'm not too fond of them, I guess, but I mean, I don't think it's really
I
relevant.
wouldn't say he loves pigeons. I wouldn't
Yeah.
say you're a big pigeon fan, Sean.
Yeah, I'm
Just
also
from
not
what I've learned
sure
about you.
my level of enjoyment out of pigeons is really relevant to this segment,
No.
but I appreciate you bringing that up.
No, I
So-
just thought you like made this one up because
Okay.
it just sounds weird.
Well, that's a good way to connect it. So you're saying no to that one, and
Yeah.
you're saying Martin Sheen was approached about Alfred. Do you know who Martin Sheen is?
No.
No.
Okay.
But he's very Alfredy in her mind.
Right.
Yeah, I
The
thought like
abstract notion of Martin Sheen really, really screams Alfred.
Yeah.
that's it.
No.
Well, you tell me,
Um,
Claudia. I'm talking about in your mind.
Well, Claudia, I'm going to let you in a little bit of information. It was number 2 was correct. The filming was delayed in London because of rambunctious pigeons on top of the sound studio. They affected the audio so badly they had to stop
what were they
recording.
doing?
You know what rambunctious means?
Yes, well, I do. But I mean, realistically, a professional sound
Apparently
studio
it's
is
loud.
well set up.
Yeah.
What were they, like, starting a tribute band or something? Like, what's...
Yeah. I guess so. The official body count, just for your own information, was 27. And Martin Sheen was never approached about playing Alfred.
You wouldn't approach Martin Sheen.
No, you
offense.
wouldn't. He's Charlie Sheen's
I'd approach
father.
him, but I wouldn't approach him about...
I thought that he was like related
Being
to
Alfred.
Charlie Sheen. I was like, yeah, maybe. Like, who knows?
Okay, that's
You know?
good.
That's
So, Rob,
Watch out for me, Sean.
let's move on to you.
Watch out.
Your film is the 1984 Ghostbusters. Have you seen it?
This one, Sean.
Or you've seen it, Claudia?
Sean,
I've seen it
I have
as
a bit of
well,
an edge
yeah,
here,
yeah.
Sean.
Okay.
because I've seen... Well, you could have picked it.
I was actually worried that Claudia wouldn't have seen this, so I was glad you went with Batman Begins,
Mm-hmm.
because I thought, oh, she's definitely seen Batman Begins. I didn't think you'd seen
I've
Ghostbusters.
I've seen Ghostbusters twice or even 3 times.
Wow, a
even
true fan.
thrice.
All right.
A
go on,
true
Sean.
fan. Okay. Clear my throat now for these. First piece of information. Up until the release of Home Alone, this film was the highest grossing comedy film of all time. Trivia number 2. The original title of the film was Spookbusters, but it was changed because it did not translate well into different languages. Trivia number 3. Casper the Friendly Ghost was originally supposed to make a cameo appearance as a joke, but they couldn't obtain the rights to him.
This is so hard.
Thanks, Claudia. I don't think that's true about Casper.
Mhm.
I feel like I would have heard that before.
Okay.
Spookbusters was the proposed name for the film you were
Yes,
saying.
because Dan Aykroyd wrote the film and he had Spookbusters but changed it because it did not translate
Dan
well.
Aykroyd is mad, but I
Yes.
don't know if he'd have ever suggested Spookbusters. I have this weird feeling in the back of my head, like I've heard odd proposed titles for it before, but I don't know if Spookbusters was one of them. And the first bit of trivia that you gave me there was, could you repeat it?
Until the release of Ghostbusters, Home Alone was the highest grossing comedy film of all time.
Home Alone was good, and I wouldn't
Oh
want
wait,
to...
I said it the wrong way around. Home Alone was the highest grossing film. Home Alone is the highest grossing comedy film. Ghostbusters was before.
Oh, Home Alone has become...
Home Alone
since.
beat Ghostbusters.
And is it still currently? Is that part of it?
I don't know.
You don't
I don't think it's really relevant.
But you're
I
saying
think
it beat it. Okay.
It beat it, yeah.
I'm going to go with 2.
You're gonna go
I'm
with
going to
2.
go with Spookbusters. I don't know. No, am I...
You gotta lock in an answer
I'm going to
here.
go on Home Alone. Home Alone.
You're gonna go on Home Alone. Claudia, what are you thinking?
Home Alone or Spookbusters, Claudia, which is
Yeah,
it?
I'd say,
Yeah, that was a
it's
choice.
kind
You
of
can't
hard,
just say
yeah, but like, yeah, spook.
Yeah,
Spooky
Spook. Okay.
You're going for
she's going
Spookbusters.
Spooky spook.
I'm going to go Home Alone.
All right, interesting. Rob, you're correct. Home Alone beat out Ghostbusters when it was released.
Yeah.
Fun fact for you.
and
Spookbusters was never
And
suggested.
let's be real, the issue with Spookbusters isn't a translation issue, it's the fact that it's an awful name.
Yeah, and Casper was never actually supposed to appear in it.
No one ever thought that was going to happen. Anyway.
That was fun.
Thanks very
That
much,
definitely
Sean.
was
Those
the
are
best.
brilliant. Those
that
were
was
really well
definitely the
written.
best segment of the whole show.
For sure.
That was Sean.
Yeah, absolutely. Wink, wink.
I don't think I needed the wink. I got the tone
Yeah.
sass.
No, it was just straight up
Yeah.
the best segment. There was no kind of sarcasm intended when I said that.
Thank you.
Wink.
Thanks,
Stop that.
Claudia. So,
That was a lot of fun.
that was really good.
Yeah?
I'm really, really, really looking forward to your next few.
Thank you.
Hopefully,
I'm- you know
Claudia
what?
will have seen the films.
I'm going to
once
one
again.
up you and say I'm really looking forward to the next show.
What I'm looking forward to
What
is
are you
getting
looking
to
forward
see
to?
a few films this weekend and in the coming week.
Interesting.
So as we all know, this is airing on Friday. If you're looking for something to do for the weekend, my recommendation this week would be go seeing the new Nicolas Cage film, Mandy.
My
in
recommendation
Paris.
is don't see that.
Oh, really?
Nothing with Nicolas Cage should be watched.
This one should be watched, enjoyed, and savoured, I think. It looks like an absolutely mad, chainsaw, acid-filled rainbow of a film. Funnily enough, also directed by the director of Black Rainbow. But it's on in Palace. I don't know if it's on anywhere else. They originally were only going to do 1 or 2 screenings of it, but now they've extended it to being a good few more screenings for the rest of the week. The film looks absolutely fantastic, and I think there's actually a Galway-related actress in the lead role of, or in the titular role of Mandy.
So if you don't want to see that, what can you see in Film Sock?
Well, Film Sock in the coming week, we're going to have Videodrome. That's on Wednesday
Ooh.
at 7 p.m. It's a Cronenbergian horror film. It's the last of all the Halloween films I'm going to be putting on. And it's really, really good. It stars James Wood, who most people would know from either most of his roles or from playing himself on Family Guy. But it's a really, really good, really out there, bizarre, and a bit gross of a horror film. I just want something a bit kind of visual and a bit
Upsetting.
unsettling
Okay.
to really end it.
Also, Just thought I'd throw it out there.
Go for it,
On
Seán.
Halloween night, FilmSock will be having a spooky quiz.
Yes, most Wednesdays we will have my screenings. However, on the 31st, Insult, that's the college bar, details yet to be fully confirmed.
They'll be put on Facebook. I
They
know
will
we
be on-
have booked
yeah.
Salt, we just needed to finalise
Yeah.
times. And
But the
that.
plan is basically for a nice, spooky Halloween horror film kind of themed quiz
Yeah,
on the 31st. We hope
And
everyone
people
can
are
make it. And people are
going to
dressing
dress
up.
people are
Yes.
going to dress up. I'm excited about it.
Yeah, I'm going to dress all the way up.
Also, the where is going the screening? For
screening is in
where
the-
is it?
All of my screenings will be on in the Darcy Thompson Wednesdays at
That is
7.
Darcy Thompson, Wednesday at
Darcy
7.
Thompson. If you're in the concourse,
With
it's
free
just down
pizza?
next to... Very good, Claudia.
One vegan, free pizza. There is one vegan pizza.
There's
just to
one
entice
vegetarian
vegans.
that's half vegan, just for Claudia, so she doesn't get
Ooh.
upset. I've downgraded her to half a pizza.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Thanks, Rob.
You're very welcome, Claudia.
That sounds like a jam-packed week we've got going on.
Yeah, it's pretty busy coming up.
All right, I'm excited. So what song have we chosen to roll out with?
So we're going to be rolling out with Sigrid's Everybody Knows in just a minute. But
Oh.
I'd like to say thanks everyone for listening.
Oh,
This has
interesting.
been the first show from Real Talk.
Real talk.
My name is
Real
Rob.
talk. Are we supposed
My name
to
is
say it?
Seán. I didn't expect you to say it, Claudia. I just wanted to emphasize what
And
Rob was saying.
Claudia, what's your name?
Claudia.
Fantastic. So once again, this has been Eel Talk for all talk of anything wet, slippery and serpentine on campus. Thanks so very much for listening.